Welcome back to Boomer Live, and we are live again as the world number one team, Pakistan, are off to a fantastic start in the World Cup. The favorites to win the World Cup have shown why they are the favorites to clinch the title, and Jaren and everyone is over here with us, Jaren, Sandipani. We are very excited to talk about this game because Pakistan really showed why they are the number one team in the world. And though they were replaced in the ranking, you can really see the dominance in terms of how they've gone about their game. They showed it from the very first ball they bowled today, and let it be in the batting. They got off a jittery start, losing the first three wickets. But a hallmark of a good team is when their players come together and take them out of that particular hole, regardless if it is Netherlands or not. Netherlands, one of the best teams in the world, to defeat them and to really put up a statement saying that we are here to win the World Cup is what Pakistan team has done. And there is no two ways about it why Pakistan cannot win the World Cup. And today's win in itself, the margin of win, really signifies why Pakistan is possibly one of the strong contenders. I mean, they were put under pressure. After that, one of the best knocks of the World Cup by Rizwan and South Shakil as well, sending out tremors already to Sri Lanka and to India as well in the next few games as to what they're going to be doing. So this is where we are. We are live again. Before that, do remember to check out our app, Boomer 11. Do remember to check out our shop as well. On Boomer 11, you can play premium contests. So the premium contests are live right now. So remember to check out our premium contest and our shop. When you purchase your stuff and get into it straight away without waiting anything more. And also check out a predictor feature if you are there using your mind talking about aisa hoga waisa hoga, why don't you check it out with our app? You can go out there and predict your thoughts, how many sixes will be hit, how many fours will be hit, because tomorrow it's a double header. So predict your to start predictions right now so that you don't miss out and waking up early in the morning. So that's how it is. As Sandipani, let's start off with Sandipani, a statement win. It's a statement win by Pakistan to start of the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all the teams should take note and be scared of the giants that is Pakistan, because especially I was really, really not surprised when Pakistan were batting first because the toss was inconsequential. I always knew if Pakistan plays against Netherlands or probably sometime down the line Zimbabwe, Nepal, they'll definitely go up to bat first, and Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, Iftikhar Ahmed will show them what giants they are. They are the world number one. They absolutely played like it. Mohammad Rizwan played like one. Saud Shakil played a brilliant knock. And I think Babar Azam, I think he was getting a lot of criticism for scoring against weaker opponents. And I think it was really unfair on many people's part to really blame Babar Azam for some of the knocks that he played against weaker teams. But today he made a statement. He just said that our team does not need me to score high against weaker opponents. He scored 5 runs of 18 balls. What a class act. And after that, we saw the absolute class act from, Mohammad Rizwan and Saud Shakil built up that partnership that really helped them post a decent score. And I think seriously, honestly speaking, I think Pakistan were in certain amount of trouble at times because they were losing wickets at regular intervals. But kudos to the lower order because they really prompted the score from what could have been a 220, 230 to a 280 and made it
Yeah,
out of reach for Netherlands. And
yeah.
Baz the lead, I think he showed immense potential in the T20 World Cup as well. And today
Hmm.
itself, picking up 4 wickets, 60 odd runs,
Yeah.
he was the one man show for Netherlands today. But yeah, a statement from Pakistan.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right in pointing out the statement from Pakistan. I thought the knock by South Shakti and Rizwan will go down the history books as one of the better saving knocks of all time. And Pakistan, I think they really look like the team who can go into the semi-final right now. And if you look, they're number two in the table, and that itself says why they are the best team in the world. Number two in the table with plus one, then positive one in NRR. I think if they have to call the shots right now in the World Cup, they are going to play the World Cup final, and there's no two ways about it. Other teams can maybe watch England, defending champions, down in the drums. Pakistan number one, number two in the table. I think one more match against Sri Lanka going top of the table. I don't see nobody stopping Pakistan in this World Cup. Jaren, talking about which, very honestly speaking, the way in which how the Pakistan started their bowling, the strong Netherlands batting attack, some of the world class players out there, and to go out there and to put up a statement against them. Never easy in these conditions to pick up wickets, but they still went on to pick up wickets. And Shadab Khan showed why he's the best spinner in the world, and Nawaz showed why he's the best all rounder in the world today. And with that, Shaheen Afridi picking up wickets, and Hassan Ali as well back with the celebration, and Haris Rauf. We talk about some of the fastest, fierce bowler in the world. That spell by Haris Rauf will be down in the history books as one of the top spells in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you guys have picked up the right points right away.
I think Jaren, we have lost Jaren straight up because of some technical
Due to
glitch. Doesn't
excitement,
matter
I think.
due to the excitement. But meanwhile, as he joins back, you can talk about what the point I just rose.
Yeah, I think it was a clinical display because 280 in Hyderabad, where second batting second, a lot of teams in the warm up matches you saw Pakistan, New Zealand really cruised to 340 odd runs, and then in the second game as well, Pakistan were almost successfully chased down 350 odd runs. So 280 was not exactly ideally what Pakistan would have liked to defend. They would have definitely at the start of the innings aimed at something close to 330, 340 at the least. But then again, things turned out as it did, and 280 is all they could manage. So it was a very clinical display from their bowlers as well, because defending 280 is not easy. And we have seen in World Cup situations where these some of the lower ranked teams can give you a scare. We saw Afghanistan really give India a scare in the last World Cup, where Mohammad Nabi almost pulled off that blinder. Not exactly blinder. They scored under par and they were put under pressure. But that did not happen to Pakistan today because their bowling was really clinical. And Haris Rauf, Hassan Ali, Shaheen Shah Afridi, and the spinners as well really chipped in when they needed and picked up wickets in regular intervals. And there was no momentum in that Netherlands innings. I think they started off really well. 85 for 2 at 18 overs. You would think or believe that the team can really go on and score 280 runs. But then there was that middle order collapse. And you can't really blame the Netherlands as well. They haven't really got this sort of exposure in the large scale for a long time. So I think they will eventually bounce back and put up some better performances against some of the other teams.
Yeah. Pakistan, the best bowling lineup in the world. I think they're the best bowling lineup in this galaxy as
Universe.
well.
Yeah.
Of universe, galaxy, whatever. The greatest who ever donned their jersey. So, Jen, coming back to you once again, we've been just talking about how this win would have sent tremors across the World Cup teams as to why this is the statement win. But to add to that factor, how pleased they will be to see a South Shakil perform today. Looks like next big thing from Pakistan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, someone I think yesterday as well mentioned about how South Shakil could be a very important player for them, and what he has shown today as well, was the temperament to really come in at a stage where Pakistan were struggling, and I wouldn't say as much as struggling as they had a iffy start to say the least. You still expect a team like Pakistan to be to build themselves up from after losing those 3 wickets, even though one of them was Babar Azam as the world number one batter. But then, I mean, so, we did speak about how the new ball attack of New Zealand is going to be of Netherlands rather, is going to be very tricky to face, and it was. I think right away you saw Van Meekeren ball really well past Elide. Also did well as well, and then you had Colin Ackerman who did a very good job. But I think in many ways, you would have to say that Pakistan did take them a lot more lightly than they should have. I don't think they expected this kind of a start, and Netherlands did hold their own. And in many ways, you would have to agree with what Scott Edwards said. It was a game that got away from them. They just did not hold their temperament, is what I would really say, because this game could have been easily theirs if they had played a little bit more better cricket. I think for most parts of it, Netherlands did challenge Pakistan for a long time, and that's not something that Pakistan would like, because it just felt like Pakistan did not wake up and smell the coffee, Abel, as you said yesterday. You're on mute, Abel.
I thought facing some small technical glitch, but nonetheless, Pakistan also had some technical glitch, and even the scoreboard was not, as Ramesh Raja rightly pointed out. It's a technical glitch like Pakistan's top order. But talking about with Sandibani, what is next for this Pakistan team from here on? Now, if you have to just mention about how they've done, batting looks good, solid. That's a good reprieve from them. That They have solid two middle order bats to come and save them, and maybe add a Shazab and Nawaz. Now going ahead in the tournament, they'll be playing Sri Lanka next in Hyderabad. Then they'll be playing that big game against India. But before that, they've almost ticked every box out there in the world.
Yeah, I think it was a clinical performance all round because you saw, I mean, as I said, the Pakistan top order didn't really score. They lost three quick wickets, and then the middle order really came into fore, and that 100-run partnership really helped their cause. But then again, there are certain concerns as well because you wouldn't want them to lose 6 7 wickets within the first 30 40 overs and really expect the lower order to come in and save the day for them every time. And I really feel that today 280 was bit under par. They only got away because it was Netherlands. If it would have been any other team, I don't think they would have even got away with scoring 280. The lower order chipped in and scored those runs because they were facing an inferior bowling attack. But having said that, I think I have already said this. I have been a huge fan of Paul van Meekeren right since the T20 World Cup as well. I think these Netherlands bowlers really did a great job, at least in the first half of the innings, or they really chipped in and picked up wickets in regular intervals. But talking about Pakistan, I think they really have to check a couple of boxes, as in the top order needs to fire, and then not to lose wickets in regular intervals in the middle overs. And finally, I think even from a bowling standpoint, I feel that the squad that they selected with Mohammad Nawaz coming in at number 8 and Shadab Khan in at number 7, I feel that they are playing one batter too many. I I feel Mohammad Nawaz can. I mean, they're playing that one spinner. Mohammad Nawaz can probably be replaced with somebody else who is a better wicket-taking option. And I feel they have the bowling unit. They have the bowling unit to replace Mohammad Nawaz. But today, again, he did the job with the bat. 39 of 43 coming in at number 8 is what we expect from Shardul Thakur day in and day out, and he fails to perform. But Mohammad Nawaz did that, and Pakistan won the game. So if they can maintain this sort of consistency in the future, I think it looks good for Pakistan to at least make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
I mean, the semifinals.
Absolutely, no two ways about it. But one thing I liked about Pakistan's approach today was the momentum with which they kept going. After losing three wickets, they did not bog down. Rizwan really was showing the intent, and South Shakil joined as well. I know it could have been a situation where Pakistan could have been 4-5 down, less than 100, and things would have looked very different. But the fact of the matter is, the way in which South Shakil and Rizwan had that partnership there really gave them a different complexion. And now going ahead in the World Cup, I personally think if they can play with that same momentum, from the very first go. I thought they were very timid and tentative to start off with. That's really what caused them to lose those three wickets. If they can go at a very good rate, and then them knowing that now they have a South Shakil, Iftikhar, Shadab, Nawaz, everybody to come. Even Haris Roth can tong with the bat now today, as what he showed, and even Shaheen Afrizee. 11 players who can bat. So that is a crazy good batting attack. You have a very good batting depth, and that might just give them that extra bit of confidence, going ahead in the tournament and making them feel okay. This is what we can do on better occasions, and even against India or even against Sri Lanka in the next game, they might just want to take that approach. But let's say shift to focus Netherlands. Where do you think they just went wrong, Jaren? Because after picking those three wickets, bowling some loose deliveries here and there, letting Saud and Rizwan to really get settled. Maybe there was an opportunity which was created by Aryan Dutt, which Saud had nicked it and it did not carry to Vikram Singh. If that would have been taken, maybe things would have been slightly different as well.
Yeah, I mean, these are the kind of moments, where you would say that Netherlands lost the game. It was a lot of temperament issues, is what I would say. But I think one example is obviously what you've given. You have to take you have to take chances that come your way when you're playing a big team like Pakistan. At the end of the day, they are obviously a they're still world number two ODI team. They're no joke, to say the least. And on even their worst days, they can really pull off a win, and that's what we saw today. So for Netherlands to have made these kind of mistakes is not a good sign. Again, I'll go back to what Scott Edwards said. It was a game where they really let go of the initiative. Whenever they looked like they were building a partnership, they slowed down a lot more than they should have. They had only lost two wickets. I mean, they only lost one wicket, and then there was a small building that they had done, where the innings was built back up, but they never really looked like they were scoring runs on a regular basis. Their run rate never rose above 5, 5.5, and it was a tough pitch to bat on because the dew never really showed up. And when that happens, you have to capitalize on that early overs. I know Shine Shafri balled really well, and it was very easy to tackle them. And maybe in many ways, only losing one wicket by the end of the power play is an achievement for this Netherlands team. But if you have to do well in World Cup, you will have to do a lot more than just what they did. And I think in many ways, it was a performance they will be proud of, but it did not really yield any result.
Yeah, but I'll have to add that I was really happy to see Colin Ackerman come in at number 3, because I think
Yeah.
Netherlands were using him at number 5, and I feel that he's a sort of a batter who can really play a anchor's knock and then just go through the innings with a lot of
Yeah.
ease, better than most of the other Netherlands batters. And I think he has a lot of experience, which Netherlands can really cash on. So I think him coming in at number
Absolutely.
3 and Baz the lead at number 4 is the way to go forward.
I agree. I think Basel lead is really setting this entire World Cup on fire. Already set the qualifiers on fire. I think he's shown what he can do. It was a quality bowling. You're talking about the best bowling attack in the world, as Nabil says, the best bowling attack in the universe or galaxy on display right now against possibly they were playing as number one team in the world. Undoubtedly, we all agree to the fact that ICC rankings are flawed and Pakistan should be a number one team in the world. Everybody agrees that they keep on defeating Nepal, Afghanistan, top teams, and even today, I don't know
I
how they
think today
lost in the Asian
Pakistan
Games.
had a sort of mixed day, because you talk about the World Cup, they won their opener against Netherlands,
Yeah,
but you talk about the Asian Games, they lost their semifinals against Afghanistan. So
Afghanistan,
I
yeah,
think tomorrow they are going to play against Bangladesh for the bronze
Bangladesh,
medal, something that they wouldn't have ideally hoped at the start of the
yeah.
Asian Games.
That doesn't matter.
So
That doesn't
it's a
matter.
mixed day.
Afghanistan is not a good team at all, to be very honest, and they lost. Chance to सबको देना पड़ेगा. Kapu अफवाह हो जा. Okay, yeah. Either way, that's a banter which is already begun. Welcome Aisha on the show, and congratulations for the win. But yeah, let's talk about what this Pakistan team's possible team. I don't see any more changes in this team. The one change I can maybe expect come the Sri Lanka game could be Usama Amir, who can be maybe tried out. Even today, Shadab was all over the place, to be very frank. Though Nawaz got Bas the leader, the spinners did look in trouble. If not for Harris Rauf running in and picking up those two wickets back to back, this could have been slightly more tighter, I think. This could have been much more closer. Maybe 20 run, 30 run margin could have been the factor between the two teams. But yeah, that is what I'm talking about. The spinners still very disappointing. Though Shadab did pick up those wickets, though Nawaz picked up a couple of wickets, Iftikhar picked up a wicket which Colin Ackerman was all over the place. His head was there, picked the line of the ball. That was the worst way to play a sweep shot. That's a textbook way how not to play a sweep shot. But either way, from here on, Pakistan will be slightly concerned, you reckon, looking at the spin bowling prowess at this point? Yes, Jared.
I'm so sorry, I didn't get the question. I think there's a slight issue on my end. Yeah, can you
Yeah,
just
I was
repeat?
just saying that, do you think Pakistan will be slightly worried about what's going to be happening? Because even today, Shadab did travel for quite a amount of runs, and we're talking about Netherlands over here. And even Nawaz could have been attacked even in a better way if they had enough wickets. And if not for Harris Roth coming up and picking up those wickets, this could have been a closer game.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I mean, when you look at Netherlands as well, I mean, I spoke about how they made a lot of mistakes, but Pakistan as well genuinely did not look like a top team. I still feel like it's that slight reduction in intensity that we saw in the warm up games that's carried on to today as well. Just felt like they took it a little too easy. I mean, even towards the end, right, 46, 47th over, you saw how Nawaz got run out in the most comical fashion. I mean, I don't know what is really happening there. These lads have played together for a long time. That kind of a communication mistake where once again, I think this was another appeal for leg before wicket and just took off. He just literally took off. I think Shaheen Shafridi literally took off. And then Nawaz took off. Then Shaheen Shafridi called him back. It was just absolute chaos out there. And Nawaz lost his wicket in that. And once again, you would have to say that terrible cricketing awareness. Because we have seen so many teams in this kind of situations, sacrifice the lesser wicket, which would be Shaheen Afridi's wicket. And who knows if Nawaz had stayed there for any longer, he could have maybe taken the score to 300 plus for sure. So these are the kind of mistakes that Pakistan should really avoid. Today, again, you felt like Pakistani bowlers did not find their lengths till the 15, 20th over. They were bowling way too wide. for someone like Colin Ackerman, who just climbed onto them, who went after the bowling, and they were lucky to really have dismissed Max O'Dowd. Because if Max O'Dowd had survived there any longer than 5 of 12 balls, he could have really destroyed this Pakistan lineup. We've seen what he's done before. That
Yeah,
wicket
I
is
think
very
the
easy
opening
because
pair
after that,
is very very potential
yeah.
for New Zealand as well. I think Vikramjit Singh as well. I think we haven't spoken about him. He scored that half century as well. It was a decent enough job.
But I think even with Vikramjit Singh, right, they gave him a lot of width early on, and he was able to capitalize on it. But the moment they closed him down, they started balling that fourth some third stump line. This is an analysis by Harsha Bhogle as well. His strike rate fell down to some I think 50 odd, 50,
Yeah.
60 odd. So that is where again, once the power play was over, you really do not see Vikramjit Singh put on the show that he had during the power play. And Colin Ackerman as well fell at the worst possible time, playing a very, very dismal shot. So that's where I think the tag of being an associate nation and the lack of, having that experience of important decisions that you make. I think that is where they kind of failed. And towards the end of the day, it was the one who made the more mistakes who lost the game. It was not at all the team who did the better job who won the game.
But I think Abel, have got a good point out there with the with Usama Mir. I think Usama Mir should be given a chance because you saw in the warm up games, Pakistan were playing in flat decks, and even though he considered in excess of 6 runs per over in the 2 games that he played, but he did pick up 4 wickets in 15 overs against Australia and New Zealand. So I think Usama Mir is a better call in those middle overs as an wicket taking option because
Yeah.
Shadab Khan over the years have been very, very defensive. Especially in the last 2 years, we have seen Shadab Khan really get into a shell. In the T20 World Cup, he was phenomenal. But after that, post the T20 World Cup, we have seen that he really gets into that defensive line where he's just looking to get through his overs quickly and really concede just 4 or 5 runs per over. Same is the case with Mohammad Nawaz. So I think if Pakistan really needs or wants to pick up wickets in that middle overs, I think Usama Mir is the option. I was really surprised that they did not really consider Usman Qadir, who was playing in the Asian Games for Pakistan. I think he would have been a good contender in India in pitches that turn. I think he was a good option for picking up wickets. But Usama Mir, in whatever I have seen in the warm up games, I
Mm.
think he should get a call up anytime soon. And I think it was a game against Netherlands where they could have really tried and experimented. But I mean, it's two ways that you can look at it. You either want a solid 11 player foundation that you want to maintain throughout the World Cup, or probably you want to experiment with some of the weaker teams and then get back to your strengths
Yeah,
later.
that's true. That's true. I mean, at least they tried with Saud Shakil. I still expected them to go with Agha Salman in this game. So
Yeah.
that was a good one, which worked out for them. Jaren Fata pitch one कर अब हमारा band बज जाएगी. I mean, I can understand that in India you are gonna get flatter decks, but I think Pakistan should be equipped enough to play in these decks because that's what you get in Lahore and Islamabad and Karachi and
I think
whatnot.
that's all practice. That's all the practice that Pakistan gets in bilateral series
Yeah,
as well at home.
yeah. Did Netherlands give hiccups at the start? Obviously, Netherlands did give hiccups at the start. There was no two ways about it. The way in which now Netherlands started off, it did send tremors all across. But then that's a strength of this Pakistan team to come back out of adversity. That's why they're the world's best team for a lot of reasons. They're one of the world's best teams. One of the favorites to win the World Cup to come back. Doesn't matter Netherlands, Nepal, Mongolia, or whoever they play against. They will come back and they will come back pretty strong. And that's Pakistan's hallmark and they've always done that against these nations who are pretty strong. So, whenever they are going to come back, they're going to come back pretty strong. But having said that, final thoughts on Netherlands next game against New Zealand. Never going to be easy. How do you see them get ready and go from here on? Because it's not going to be easy. New Zealand is coming off a massive win, possibly sitting very well, and they will be feeling like they are walking into a grave in Hyderabad against New Zealand.
Yeah, I think the start is going to be important. You can't let players like Rachin Ravindra and Devon Conway run away with the game. Early wickets is the key, and if what we saw in the game today is somewhat similar to what we get to expect from Netherlands, I think we can expect certain upsets in the tournament from them. And these are early predictions, but I feel that they'll at least get 2 wins out of the 9 games that they play. So, be it
Yeah.
Bangladesh, be it Afghanistan or New Zealand, on their day, if this is what we are to expect from Netherlands, I think they have a good team. They on their way to the World Cup finals, they went on to beat Zimbabwe when they were on a high. They went on to beat West Indies in the qualifiers. So I think they have the potential to pull off these upsets when you need them. And I wouldn't really call it as upsets as well. They are the top 10 teams in the world. I mean, it's just 15 to 20. That may be the difference in quality. But then again, I think New Zealand is a far, far superior team and a massive favorite heading into the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're one of the favorites of this tournament all of a sudden as well. You're looking at the
But
ICC
you
back.
know,
tournaments and New
just coming
Zealand.
back from your earlier point as well, I don't think this pitch was as flat as one would think, because you saw genuine turn for the likes of someone like even I think Shadab got a little bit of turn, even Nawaz got a little bit of turn, and once the ball gets a little older, right? I think it was not easy for both the teams. You saw Pakistan crumble. You also saw Netherlands crumble as well. So I don't think it was as far as flat as people think. It was it was very easy to bat on, but that older ball, right? And the ball is getting really old. If you look at, I think if you look at England World Cup, for instance, right, you not see the ball get this older. So there's a lot more abrasion. It's a more abrasive pitch, which means the ball does get slightly softer. So after 30, I think people have struggled, because I saw Pakistan bowling a lot more cutters at at the Dutch batters, and they did not time the ball at all, and we saw a lot of wickets fall that way.
Truly. And before we end our live right now, let's look at the highest fantasy earners for today. Which players got the most fantasy? There's no doubt in thinking or guessing about Baz the leader. He would have been a dream captain for every fantasy player today. Look at that. Baz the leader at number one, South Shakil at number two with 91 points. Fantastic game for Baz the leader. It's a dream game, 213 points. Colin Atkinson with 90 points. Then you had Mohammad Rizwan with 84 points and Mohammad Nawaz with 82 points as well. But to be very honest, Baz the leader was any fantasy player's dream to just have today. To pick up 4 wickets, to score a 50, and the way in which he was doing everything. And to have South Shakil would have been a very interesting pick. Not a lot of people would have had him in the team. And Mohammad Rizwan would have been a sure start in a lot of teams, and even Babar Azam. So a lot of people who picked Babar Azam would have had a tough day. So that's from the points tally of who were the highest fantasy points earners. And do not forget that check out this, which is the opportunity to get on our app and maybe check all the features out, check the predictor feature out, and also remember check our shop out. Fine link for you in once again. Check the shop out because this is the opportunity to play the premium contest with Boomer 11. Have a good time, all of you. We definitely will be back in tomorrow's game, after the game, mostly because tomorrow's a double header. It's Bangladesh taking on Afghanistan, and then we have the South Africa Sri Lanka game, which is going to be a very interesting game for a lot of people who were waiting. I think it's in Lucknow, and we do not know how the Lucknow pitch is going to play. If Lucknow pitch is going to play anything like how it played in the IPL, Sri Lanka could be in with a chance to maybe topple over South Africa there. Thank you once again. Have a good time, all of you. See you very soon.
Good night, guys.